Hey there, tarot and oracle card readers. April here on Tarot and Witchery. You know, we talk a lot about deck reviews and, we have hashtags, but I feel like I really want to spend some time on my channel talking about tarot practice. Like, what does it mean to be in your tarot practice and developing that? So today, I really want to talk about gratitude. I want to talk about saying thank you. So I'm hoping that what I talk about here is going to spur you on in a personal way so that you can develop a practice that's right for you and with your tarot and your oracle cards, and something that makes sense for your worldview, your personal practice, your spiritual practice, and kind of integrating that all into one. So saying thank you, I think that saying thank you is something we don't do enough of. I'm specifically talking about when you're doing a tarot reading, how you open up with a tarot reading and how you close with a tarot reading. I think that one of the most profound things that I can do as I sit down with my deck, before I even shuffle the cards, is to kind of set up my area in a way that feels sacred to me. If I'm doing a bigger reading, I'm going to go ahead and light some candles and create some ambiance. Probably clear the room with a hydrosol spray or some smoke or something. So I want to kind of set my time up. But while I'm doing that, I really want to take some time to be in a heart of gratitude and a heart of thankfulness. Really be saying, to myself, thank you for this time of self-care. Thank you for this time of reflection. Thank you, like giving myself a hug for stepping up and taking the time. We're so busy all the time. And so when we bother to stop and take some time for ourselves and sit down with our cards and have that special time, I think it is important. And I think it adds a layer of expectation and magic to what you're doing with your cards, whether they're tarot or oracle, to simply stop and set the stage with some gratitude. Once I do my reading, I like to actually close with gratitude as well. And by that, I mean, I even will specifically thank specific cards. So like for our Mystical March Journaling Challenge, we all worked with a specific archetype. And so as I close down those, I want to take a moment to thank that card, to thank that archetype for showing up in my life. If you're unfamiliar with what the archetypes of the tarot are, they're trumps 0 through 21. So, thanking that card for showing up in my life. Maybe I want to just take some time to thank the cards themselves for the wisdom that they give me. Some of you may be thinking, that's kind of silly, like talking to the cards, but I really feel like this is a living, dynamic body of knowledge that I interact with. This is not some disembodied thing that I'm doing. This is a way that I am grabbing hold of a stream of consciousness that thousands upon thousands of people have tapped into. You're one of them if you're watching this. Thousands upon thousands of people have tapped into this consciousness and done so much to cultivate relationship with these images and with these cards, specifically tarot, but even oracle decks, and because of that, there is a reverence that I have when I tap into this, knowing that this is a body of knowledge that is here to help me reflect on where I'm at in my life, bring guidance, bring comfort, bring friendship. I mean, I have unique friendships with some of the cards. How about you? How many of you have special relationships with certain cards, certain decks? I wanted to say this because I feel like, my channel is Tarot and Witchery, and I don't often talk about how this relates to witchery. I feel like my craft is so integrated into my life that I often don't think to speak about how I'm making magic. But this is part of how I make magic, is that I open my readings consciously. I do so in gratitude, and I close my readings consciously in gratitude. I make sure to honor the cards in the ways that are right for me. So maybe for some of you, that's just placing your hands on it. Maybe that's just a simple thank you, but it's not like I don't want to take these, I don't want to become, the word isn't jaded, but cavalier. I don't want to be cavalier where I'm just kind of shoving my deck off, like I'm just using this. I want it to remain a part of my sacred practice and a part of my craft, part of witchcraft. For me, I find ways to plug in to the magic of the moment. And that means getting conscious about these cards being a gift from the universe to me. Me being conscious of this time that I'm spending with the cards as being a gift from myself to myself, even if there's difficult words or messages that pass between the two of us during that time. A good friendship is about the hard times and the good times, the fun times and the work times. And for me, that's a huge part of what tarot is. So I wanted to keep this short, but I'm hoping that each one of you will be inspired to just take a moment to really be in gratitude as you're opening with your cards, and to say thank you at the end, and to explore what it means for you to say thank you to yourself, to take that moment to close down. It only takes a moment to close down in thanks for loving on yourself, and in thanks for this body of knowledge and what it brings to you in your life. And to just spend that moment in heartfelt gratitude, opening that up into your world, because gratitude turns what we have into enough, and it's its own kind of magic that releases energy into our life and creates flow, where we allow good things to come to us because we acknowledge the goodness that is in or inherent in this world that is trying to come to us. Let me know what you think about this, and the ways in which you are grateful for your decks or the time that you spend. Just take a moment to share that down below. It's kind of fun to hear about, how we honor our decks and what that means for each one of us. Until we meet again, you may want to go ahead and check out my video on this archetypal reading that I did over here. It's super fun. It's a little bit more complicated, but if you're a beginner, you can still do it. So check this out over here, and until we meet again, happy reading.